Have you ever wanted something so badly, but the world told you can't have it? This is the story of a young prince, a forgotten princess, and a queen whose heart was locked by fear. A long time ago, in the kingdom of Geralda, there lived a queen named Marla. She had a beautiful daughter named Elira. Elira was kind, gentle, and full of light. But Queen Marla was not happy. She once loved a brave king, but he left her and never came back. From that day, Queen Marla believed love is dangerous. It always ends in pain. So she locked her heart, and she locked her daughter too, high in a tower. Every prince who wanted to marry Elira had to pass 3 tests. If he failed, he disappeared forever. In a small kingdom far away lived Prince Elias. His father was a simple, kind king with no gold, no army, and no castle walls. But Elias was full of dreams. One night, Elias had a strange dream. He saw a girl in a tower crying. She held a golden flower and whispered, "Please find me. I'm still waiting." When he woke up, his heart was racing. "I must go," he told his father. "I saw her. She's real, and I must try." "No," cried the old king. "Queen Marla is dangerous." Many princes went. None came back. "But I can't sleep, I can't eat," said Elias. So the king hugged him tightly and said, "Then go, but don't go alone. Find help on your way." Elias began his journey. He had no servants, only courage. One day he saw a mountain, but the mountain started to snore. It was a very fat man lying on his back. "What are you doing here?" Elias asked. "I ate breakfast, 10 chickens and 100 cakes. Now I want lunch," said the man. "Come with me," said Elias. "You can eat more and help me too." "Bring me food," said the man, "and I'll do anything." Elias gave him a sandwich. The man smiled and said, "Call me Grub." A little later, Elias saw a man with his ear on the ground. "What are you doing?" asked Elias. "I'm listening to the world," he said. "A baby bird was just born in another country." "Can you hear the princess?" Elias asked. "She's crying in a tower. Her song is sad." "I will follow you," said the man. "Call me Whisper." Then Elias saw 2 trees with no arms. They belonged to a man with the longest arms in the world. "Can you help me reach something far?" Elias asked. "I can reach anything," said the man. "Call me Stretch." Next, Elias met a man with one hand over his eye. "Are you blind?" Elias asked. "No," he said. "I can see too much. I see through trees, mountains, even time. Call me Glimpse." Finally, Elias met a man wearing many coats on a hot day. "I'm cold," the man said. "But it's summer," cried Elias. "If I take off my coat," said the man, "snow will fall. The world will freeze." "Can you help me when fire comes?" asked Elias. "Yes," said the man. "Call me Frost." Elias now had 5 strange but loyal friends. Elias reached the queen's castle and said, "Queen Marla, I wish to marry Princess Elira." The queen smiled, but her eyes were cold. "Then bring me my blue jewel from the river," she said. Before sunset, Elias ran to his friends. "Where is it?" he asked. Glimpse looked. "It's deep under the water, very far." Stretch reached in, but couldn't grab it. Grub laughed, opened his mouth, and drank the whole river. Now the jewel lay in the dry riverbed. Stretch picked it up and gave it to Elias. The queen's hands shook. "Impossible," she whispered. The next morning the queen said, Eat 40 roasted birds before noon. If I find even one feather left, you die. Can I invite one friend? Elias asked. Only one, said the queen. He brought grub. By noon, not only were all 40 birds gone, but also the kitchen garden and fruit trees. Still hungry, said Grub, licking his fingers. The queen turned pale. This one is dangerous, she whispered. That evening, the queen gave Elias sweet food and wine. She secretly put sleeping powder in his drink. Then she led him to the tower room, where Alira sat bathed in the sunset. Her smile was sad but bright. They talked, but soon Elias's eyes grew heavy. He fell asleep. Half an hour later, he woke up. Alira was gone. He shouted from the window, "Whisper, where is she?" Whisper listened. She's crying inside a tree across the river. Glimpse looked. Yes, she's trapped by magic. How do we reach her? Cried Elias. My turn, said Frost. He opened his coat. Snow fell. The river turned to ice. They ran across. Stretch. Open the tree. Alira ran into Elias's arms. They raced back. Stretch lifted them into the tower just before the queen arrived. You're early, said Elias. We were just discussing trees and rivers. That night, the queen gave Elias and his friends a bedroom. Underneath it, she built a fire. Whisper whispered, "They're burning us alive now." I'm warm, smiled Frost. Take off your coat, said Elias. Frost did. The fire froze and died. The queen heard nothing. She opened the door, smiling, but Elias and his friends ran out laughing. Too cold, said Grub. Let's sit by a fire. The queen fell to her knees. You passed all 3 tests, she said. I cannot stop you. Why did you do all this? Elias asked softly. I was once in love, she said. But I lost him, so I locked my heart. I thought if Alira never loved, she would never feel pain. Elias looked at her gently. You don't have to lose your daughter. You don't have to lose love. The queen wept. For the first time in years, her heart opened. She gave them her blessing and left the castle to rest far away in peace. Elias and Alira were married under a golden tree. The sky was full of singing birds. Their 5 magical friends stood beside them, not as servants but as family. Love is not safe, but with courage, kindness, and true friends, it becomes worth the risk. Peace returned to the kingdom of Geralda after the wedding of Prince Elias and Princess Alira. The tower doors were opened. The gardens bloomed again. People smiled without fear. Queen Marla had gone far away to heal her broken past, and the throne now belonged to Alira and Elias. They ruled gently, listening more than commanding, loving more than ruling. For a while, happiness felt endless. But one night, Alira woke from a terrible dream. She saw Geralda covered in shadows. The golden tree was burning, and far beyond the hills, a dark crown was rising. Elias, she whispered, trembling. Something is coming. The next morning, Whisper placed his ear to the ground. The world is restless, he said. Armies are not marching, but hearts are hardening. Glimpse closed one eye and looked into the future. I see a man named Lord Varkan, he said. He rules the northern lands. He fears love more than Queen Marla ever did. And he plans to destroy Geralda, because a kingdom built on love frightens him. Soon, a black letter message arrived. Give me Princess Alira, or I will turn your kingdom to ash. The court panicked. The generals asked for war. The nobles begged Elias to hide. But Elira stood up. "I will not be locked away again," she said calmly. "Not by fear. Not by love." Elias took her hand. "We face this together." They called their 5 friends. Grub cracked his fingers. "I can eat his army," he said happily. Stretch smiled. "I can pull down his walls." Frost's breath turned white. "I can freeze his fire." But Elira raised her hand. "No," she said gently. "If we answer fear with force, the world learns nothing." They rode north, not with soldiers, but with truth. When they reached Lord Varkin's fortress, it was silent and cold. The gates opened slowly. Varkin stood alone on his throne, wrapped in iron armor. His eyes were empty. "Why do you come?" he demanded. "Love makes people weak." Elira stepped forward. "No," she said. "Love makes people brave." Varkin laughed bitterly. "I loved once. She died. So I buried my heart, just like your mother did." Elira's voice softened. "My mother chose fear, but she learned too late that love locked away becomes poison." Elias spoke then. "You want to destroy us because our happiness reminds you of what you lost." Silence filled the hall. Varkin's armor began to shake. "I don't know how to live without hate," he whispered. Elira walked closer, unguarded, unafraid. "Then let us teach you," she said. For a long moment no one moved. Then Varkin fell to his knees. The dark crown cracked and shattered. The curse over the northern lands broke that day, not by magic, not by strength, but by mercy. When Elias and Elira returned home, the golden tree bloomed brighter than ever. Their friends stayed, not as heroes, but as guardians of balance. And the world learned a new lesson. Love does not end pain, but fear makes pain eternal. To love again is the bravest choice of all. And so, the story of Prince Elias and Princess Elira came to rest, not with silence, but with hope. The kingdom of Geralda stood as proof that love, once feared, could become strength. The tower was no longer a prison. The crown was no longer a burden. And hearts were no longer locked. Elias and Elira ruled not as legends, but as humans, sometimes afraid, sometimes uncertain, yet always choosing love over fear. Because the greatest magic was never the power of their friends, nor the breaking of curses, but the courage to open a heart again. And that choice changed the world forever. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.